Mansoor, and you're now watching TVS Nightline. The headlines: 10 children killed every minute in Gaza. An elderly woman was brutally murdered by her business partner, and Petronas sets STEM-focused university in Bintulu. The United Nations has warned that the Gaza Strip may soon become a graveyard for thousands of children, with the prospect of more dying of dehydration amid Israel's war on the besieged enclave. According to the latest figures from the Gaza Health Ministry, more than 3,600 children have died in the enclave.
Meanwhile, Gaza's death toll has soared to over 8,800, consisting mostly of women and children. It was reported that at least 6,300 children have suffered major injuries due to the attacks. The UN has called for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire, with all access crossings into the Gaza Strip open for the safe, sustained and unimpeded access of humanitarian aid, including water, food, medical supplies and fuel.
An elderly woman was found dead with 15 stab wounds in a drain near the Hulu Terengganu Religious Office in Kuala Berang on Wednesday. Terengganu Police Chief Datuk Mazli Mazlan said the body of the 65-year-old victim was found by a security guard from the Hulu Terengganu Religious Office, who then called police at 4:35 a.m.
The victim, a government pensioner from Kuala Berang, was believed to have been ran over by a car before she was stabbed 15 times by a woman believed to be her business partner. Mazli said preliminary report found that the 35-year-old suspect and the victim has earlier drove somewhere to discuss business matters. However, things took a wrong turn and the pair ended up in an argument that caused the victim to alight the vehicle before being run over by the female suspect. Mazli said the incident stemmed from a dispute over profit sharing between the two. He said police arrested the suspect at her residence in Wakaf Tapai near Marang at about 11 a.m. on Wednesday. A meat cleaver believed to be the murder weapon was also found near the victim's house.
Earlier today, the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Jari Cenopeng, invited the national oil company Petronas to set up a branch campus of University Technology Petronas UTP in Bintulu. As such, he revealed that the state government is prepared to set aside a piece of land for the construction of the campus, emphasising the goal of boosting human capital in the region. This initiative is aimed at maximising science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM education among its students. These announcements were made during the handover and opening ceremony of the local Maktab Rendah Sains Mara campus to Majlis Amanah Rakyat Mara by Petronas. And for more details, we turn to our reporter, Lorenzo Isaac, for a wrap-up of today's event. Go ahead, Lorenzo.
Right, hello there, good evening. My name is Lorenzo Isaac and I'm reporting live from Kuching International Airport, and I will give you a brief summary on today's event, especially on the MRSM handover ceremony, which has happened in Bintulu earlier today. So the Premier Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg, expressed his warm welcome to the idea of University Technology Petronas expanding its educational footprint to Sarawak. Speaking to reporters at the launching ceremony of MRSM campus in Bintulu, he confirmed that Sarawak has the necessary land resources should Petronas decided to proceed. And at the same time, he also highlighted the students at UTP's Sarawak's campus would have the advantage of doing their practical training in Bintulu, a region that's a district that's rapidly emerging as an industrial hub in the state. Moreover, he also emphasized the potential for collaboration between Petronas and the state government in establishing a training center for MRSM graduates and university students. He stressed the importance of specialized skill training, particularly in areas like carbon capture, utilization and storage, CCUS, and hydrogen transportation, which fresh graduates often require. And also at the same time, the chairman of Petronas, Tan Sri Muhammad Bakir Saleh, was also present at the event and expressed the national oil company's openness to the proposal. However, he mentioned that there are various implications that need to be carefully addressed. And in a speech earlier today, Premier Abang Johari made it clear that if there is still available land, should Petronas decided to expand UTP to Sarawak. He also even underscored the state's commitment to facilitating this educational endeavor. Lastly, it's worth noting that the 122 million ringgit Bintulu MRSM campus was developed by Petronas and is expected to commence operation next year in March 2024. So far, that's all the updates that I have for today. I'm Lorenzo Isaac and videographer Faitullah Morni. We return to the studio. Thank you.
Lorenzo. Now, Sarawak government has spent 2.7 billion ringgit since 2020 to strengthen the state's education system without relying on the federal government. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Jari Tunapeng said of that amount, 2 billion ringgit was spent to upgrade the infrastructure, while 700 million ringgit was spent for educational purposes.
Sebenarnya kita mau tak mau guna dana kita. Kadang-kadang tidak pusat tu lambat gila. Apabila mereka lambat untuk membangunkan prasarana sekolah kita, mau tak mau kerajaan Sarawak menampung pekerjaan tersebut. But for me, it is a very, very beneficial investment because you are building the workforce for the future.
He said this in his speech when officiating the Mara Junior Science College MRSM Bintulu, built by Petronas on Wednesday.
Bagi Bintulu ini satulah tanda untuk kerajaan Sarawak bersama dengan partner dia melahirkan anak Sarawak yang boleh menguasai bidang-bidang yang penting dalam pembangunan negeri kita.
In a related development, Abang Johari said every school should have a complete laboratory for practical STEM lessons and not just theory. On September 23rd, Abang Johari said the Sarawak government would build laboratories in every district to strengthen science, technology, engineering and mathematics STEM education among youths in the state. MRSM Bintulu, costing 122 million ringgit, will be in operation in March 2024, thus providing opportunities for 450 students in Sarawak to receive quality education and fostering interest in the fields of STEM.
The extension project of parking lots at Raja Charles Brooke Memorial Hospital RCBM is set to commence next year, easing traffic congestion and improving safety. Batu Kitang Assemblyman Dato' Loh Kier Chiang said the project is estimated to be worth between 250,000 ringgit and 300,000 ringgit.
Loh also conveyed his intentions to collaborate with the Public Works Department PWD to expedite the project.
Because it's not enough, and the accidents are still there. So we want to improve this car park area, and hopefully we're going to reduce the chances of accident. Jadi saya akan kerjasama JKR untuk projek ini, dan dalam haraplah jangka tidak panjang lah, masa tidak panjang, kita akan selesaikan ini projek untuk RCBM. Minimum would be at least 250,000-300,000 ringgit, minimum lah, because we have trees to cut, we have electrical poles to shift, and facilities underground that we can't see, so at least 250,000-300,000.
Speaking during the site visit earlier today, Loh also expressed gratitude to the department for a similar project conducted last year adjacent to the hospital. He further indicated his willingness to collaborate with the Mambong assemblyman to facilitate the project's execution, considering that the RCBM hospital serves the Mambong community as well. The proposed extension of the parking lot at the RCBM hospital will feature hawker stalls to boost the social economic of the former leprosy community. President of the Heritage Society of RCBM Hospital, Angelina Jong, said the extension project is intended to alleviate traffic congestion and increase parking spaces to the increasing number of patients at the hospital, especially during peak hours.
We're looking into how we could improve the well-being of our ex-Hansonites community, our ex-leprosy community, but when they actually sell here, in the mornings. They have stalls in the morning to sell produce, fruits, whatever that they're selling. So we are hoping that with a bigger space, a more orderly space that we could have with the help of Mr. Liu, we could actually make a nice little hawker stall for them, where we could provide them a more conducive and safer environment.
She said this during the site visit of the proposed extension of the parking lot at the hospital on Wednesday. The proposal of expansion was put forward by the Heritage Society of RCBM Hospital, which is a non-governmental organization, NGO.
What about Kuching? WAK has a unique charm in attracting the community at large, especially the youth, and highlighting the rich cultures and arts of Sarawak from various walks of life. Hence, the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts is considering the proposal of absorbing to be part of the state's annual events calendar. Its Minister, Datuk Seri Abdul Karim Rahman Hamzah, recognises the significant impact that the event has brought to Sarawak's economy and tourism.
In his speech during the WAK closing ceremony, Karim said his ministry will continue to support the event in order to upgrade it to Sarawak's own world-class annual event that takes place throughout the whole month of October. He also extended his gratitude to key players and sponsors that have helped WAK's success this year and urged them to continue their support for WAK to further strengthen their brand domestically and internationally. The 5th edition of the festival saw a total of 59 collaborators staging exciting events in every genre, including foreign collaborations from as far as Scotland. Each one of their collaborators received a special e-certificate of appreciation for their role. Meanwhile, the festival's director, Donald Tan, said the WAK movement main drive is to enliven Kuching city centre by staging interesting events at Kuching's many beautiful locations in the heart of the city, such as the Kuching Waterfront, Museum and Unity Gardens, the Amphitheatre, City South Gardens, the old streets of Carpenter, China, Yuhai, Padungan, Main Bazaar, Gambier and India streets. However, they were faced with a congestion of events happening this year and thanked various collaborators from the private sector and city councils who generously provided venues for the event to take place all over the city.
The government's decision to end chicken subsidies and price controls effective from November 1st represents a significant change in the nation's agriculture and economy. And this decision has sparked diverse reactions from consumers and business owners. While the removal of subsidies may lead to increased prices in times of scarcity, it could also result in lower prices when supply exceeds demand. Individuals like Hamisah Ain, who depend on subsidized chicken, may need to reconsider their dietary choices and spending habits due to this policy change. And this shift raises questions about its broader impact on the agricultural sector, consumer finances, and the overall economy, making it a closely watched development in the coming month.
Kami sih perlu beli banyak-banyak lah, kerana barangnya si ada ayam pun kita dapat makan telur, ikan kan. Si perlu kita nak beli banyak-banyak berebut-rebut. Terkesan memanglah terkesan sebab dia kira barang asas untuk makanan harian kan.
On the other hand, Awang Ra'at Awang Khalik, a trader, has voiced his apprehension about the discontinuation, suggesting that it might lead to panic buying.
As a consumer yang membeli ayam, lagi lebih-lebih lagi orang yang berniaga memang mencabarlah bagi sidak sebab ialah naik harga ayam sebab dia adalah main orang madah utama bahan mentah yang utama untuk peniaga. So which is susah untuk tidak berkembang. Tentang tiba kita dah sedagi subsidi and then bagi kami a bit challenging for those yang berniaga dan terutama untuk family lah yang nak family yang kecil yang nak makan ayam apa semua susah. Dan orang bergantung dengan macam benda-benda murah ajalah selain daripada ayam. Of course memang ia adalah the only way. Memang para peniaga dan family pun akan start to panic buying lah sebab apa boleh buat nak. So hopefully kerajaan will take action on this lah so that mengurangkan beban para peniaga juga dan family lah terutamanya.
At the same time, Kelvin Edwin Tarang, a wet market supervisor, noted that so far there have been no cases of panic buying.
Okay, untuk hari ni, setakat ni, dari pagi sampai petang, belum ada panic buying lah sebab majoriti kemungkinan customer banyak yang tidak mengetahui harga tersebut. Untuk kenaikan ayam, sekarang kemungkinan adalah membebankan masyarakat dari segi kemungkinan selama ni dia membeli dengan kuantiti yang banyak. So sekarang mereka akan berjimat lah dari segi kewangan mereka akan lebih berjimat lah selepas ini.
On Monday, the federal government announced that the lifting of subsidies and price control for chicken will be effective on November 1st. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Datuk Seri Muhammad Sabu, said the decision to end bulk subsidies for chicken is to reduce the leakage of subsidies which are also enjoyed by foreigners and higher income groups. However, to ensure reasonable poultry prices, he emphasized that intervention measures are in place.
Rabies is vaccine preventable, but the approach differs for humans, and this poses a complex challenge for Sarawak's efforts to combat rabies, with human vaccination being a subject of concern in the overall strategy.
Department of Veterinary Services TVS Sarawak Director Dr. Adrian Susin said effective vaccines exist to protect individuals following rabies exposure. However, it appears that human vaccination is not a feasible solution, despite the state's ardent efforts to achieve a 70% vaccination rate by 2025.
It's not ethical. It's useless. Actually, if you vaccinate human, because they only exposed to rabies with their visitors. Only get vaccine through close contact with dog, yeah. With rabbit animal, as long as if there is animal no sign of rabies, they are not in contact with rabies. There is no possibility, no need for human to be vaccinated.
He also cited World Health Organization (WHO) highlighting that dogs are the primary cause of human rabies fatalities, accounting for over 90% of all rabies transmissions to humans.
As long as we vaccinate dog, if we can vaccinate 100%, if we can build up herd immunity up to 70%, we break the cycle. We break the cycle of rabies infection.
Furthermore, he also advised pet owners to neuter their pets to prevent the proliferation of strays, which could exacerbate rabies exposure among dogs or cats.
It's better to neuter your pet. Neuter your cat, neuter your dog. Yeah. Pet, you are preventing your pet lingering around, they will become more homely and then less aggressive. Especially during mating season. When mating season, if your pet is not neutered, it will create nuisance to your neighbor and to your family members.
On Tuesday, Minister of Food, Industry, Commodity and Regional Development Datuk Seri Dr. Stephen Rudy Utom emphasized the state's goal of achieving zero rabies by 2025. Currently, Sarawak's Immune Belt Enforcement Team IBAD has successfully vaccinated 89% of the dogs in their designated areas to control rabies in the state, with a target to vaccinate 40,000 dogs this year.
As Malaysia and Netherlands continue to strengthen bilateral relations, Malaysia's Prime Minister Dato Sri Anwar Ibrahim today received a courtesy call from his Dutch counterpart, Mark Rutte, at Seri Perdana. Rutte arrived on Tuesday for a 2-day working visit, his second visit to this country after his maiden trip in 2014.
Anwar said the four-eyed meeting was an important platform for holding talks and strengthening bilateral ties between Malaysia and the Netherlands. Meanwhile, Anwar added that among the issues discussed were the oil palm industry, cooperation in digital and artificial intelligence AI fields, and semiconductor technology, which the two countries had plenty to share. After the meeting, Anwar hosted Rutte to lunch at the Prime Minister's official residence. In 2022, the Netherlands was Malaysia's 14th largest trading partner and the second biggest in the European Union (EU), with a total trade of 48.04 billion ringgit, a 33.4% increase over the 36.01 billion ringgit in 2021. The Netherlands is also the biggest importer of Malaysian palm oil among EU countries, with a total of 732,324.54 tons.
The Ministry of Transport Malaysia (MOT) is currently studying a new variant of security camera to increase security measures on the road. The camera is equipped with the e-plate feature, which enables it to detect a car's plate number, the driver and their corresponding license and speed automatically. Its Deputy Minister, Dato' Hasbi Habibullah, said this feature will make enforcement much more seamless and efficient.
Bukan hanya dan pada masa ini dalam kajian itu ialah untuk melihat tentang siapa pengguna yang melanggar dan sebagainya, iaitu tentang dia punya lesen kenderaan memandu e-plate. Dan mungkin masa hadapan akan ditambah lagi features dalam itu juga dapat menangkap tentang kelajuan. Itu kamera-kamera baru yang akan dipasang insya-Allah satu hari nanti.
He was responding to a question posed by Libaran Member of Parliament, Dato' Suhaimi Nasir, who inquired about the government's plan to reduce the rate of road accidents in the Parliament today. Regarding the cost of installing the high-tech camera, Hasbi said the matter is still being studied and the exact cost will be announced to the public when the government approves the utilization of the camera. He also clarified that the current surveillance cameras that were installed in high-risk areas, adherence to road regulations has reached 99%.
Now on to some global news. Over 20,000 Afghans living in Pakistan rushed to the border ahead of a government-led line which required 1.7 million undocumented individuals to leave or face arrest and deportation. Pakistan has been a refuge for millions of Afghan refugees over the years, with an additional 600,000 arriving since the Taliban took power in August 2021. The Pakistani government planned to begin arresting undocumented Afghans who refused to leave and deport them to Afghanistan. Afghans had until November 1st to leave voluntarily, after which phased deportations would begin. After which staggered deportations will begin from Thursday, Interior Minister Safraz Bukti said in a video statement. Some new arrivals were reported at the Chaman border crossing in Balochistan. Once in Afghanistan, they would need to register with Afghan authorities. The inaugural Global Summit on Artificial Intelligence AI Safety commences in the United Kingdom on Wednesday, gathering political and tech leaders to deliberate potential responses to the transformative impact of this technology on society. Prominent figures including UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, US Vice President Kamala Harris, European Union Chief Ursula von the Leyen, and United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres are slated to participate in the two-day conference. The events, primarily emphasized, will revolve around addressing mounting concerns surrounding the ramifications of cutting-edge AI, often referred to as frontier AI.
The release of the latest AI models has showcased the potential of AI while raising concerns about various issues such as job displacement, cyber threats, and the level of human control over these systems. UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, the initiator of the summit, expressed his aspiration to establish a more collaborative international approach to AI safety. However, London has had to scale back its regulatory ambitions due to a perceived lack of enthusiasm. Italian Prime Minister is one of the few world leaders attending the conference, and she is the only G7 leader present. Entrepreneur Elon Musk is expected to participate, although it remains unclear whether he will be physically present at the summit where British codebreakers famously decoded Nazi Germany's Enigma code.
See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news updates both locally and internationally. For more headlines anytime, anywhere, just head on to our official website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media platforms. Don't forget to catch the exhilarating action of the Sarawak International Dragon Boat Race live on TVS social media from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. from Friday to Sunday. And that's all the updates for TVS Nightline tonight. I'm Shira Abang Mansur. Thank you for watching and good night.